finally finished my Proton pack, but instead of making a video about that, I thought it'd be cooler if I collaborated with GWS Films to make a Ghostbusters fan film. Last Halloween, I released a Ghostbusters Proton stream test, and we never really got to see that effect used in a short film, but it's because we were waiting for a Proton pack. Fast forward a year and we finally have a functioning Proton pack, and we needed a Halloween video. Not all these effects were completely digital, but I thought I'd give you guys a rundown on all the stuff that I worked on, which is mostly in Cinema 4D and Photoshop, so here we go. These effects were actually not that hard to pull off, but still pretty hard. They're done frame by frame, just like the original films. But the beams in the Ghostbusters films were all different actually. Each shot, they went from bright orange to darker orange, then red. So I decided to take references from everything Ghostbusters. The cartoon, for example, had blue and yellow lightning, and some shots, they were all doing something completely different. So I also looked at the video game, since it had the best example of 3D movement. Seeing the beams move in different directions helped me a lot, seeing them from all angles. And after seeing all those references, I decided to combine my favorite parts of the movie, the cartoon, video game, and create my own version of the Proton stream. Once I have the color and animations down, I did my best to line the beam up with the plate, and then what I did was I took the footage into Photoshop and I basically manually adjusted the beam frame by frame to make sure that it completely lined up with the gun. Make sure you add the lens flare first to the plate and then you add the beam on top. Once you are done positioning the beam and animating it, you can add motion blur or whatever you need, and it looks pretty good once you're done. The reason he's called the landlord's skull is because at the beginning of the movie you can actually hear the ghost telling you that the landlord killed them and they're asking you to avenge them. If you turn up the volume, you can hear them. And then you can hear the landlord coming after the ghost scatter. It's a funny little thing we came up with, and not sure if anyone noticed. The landlord's skull was actually supposed to be a practical stop-motion effect, and he didn't turn out very good, and we only had a week to shoot it. We decided that we could probably make a better ghost with Cinema 4D. He was supposed to be a skull that comes out of the wall, but I didn't think that was enough, so we added these giant horns, and I thought it was pretty funny. And we animated his jaw so that he can move around, and there's a very basic animation, but it was basic, but it was very effective in the final product. So step by step, I basically had to create the beam, the lightning that goes around the beam. I had to put in the landlord ghost, and I had to create the second beam that goes to the proton gun, the proton wand. And you do that about 500 more times, and you got a cool little animation. The same thing goes for the ghost trap. It's just another layer of light that goes over top of everything else. If you guys are interested in seeing how the practical effects were done, you can head on over to GWS Films and see how we created a water tank and created the ghost in the living room. If you haven't seen the original film, then go ahead and check it out.
Go check it out! Go check it out!